Welcome back for another battle report, the acceptable casualties. Today we have 1,750 points of Fallschirmjagers against Guards Tank Battalion. We're going to take a look at the list right now. We'll be playing Surrounded. So first up, we have our 1,750 points of Guards tanks for the Soviets. We're going to be fielding 2 5 T-34-85 platoons with the 1IC, all with cupolas. We have the IL-2 for priority air support, I believe. And then we come down, we have 1 3-tank squad of ISU 152s, as well as a full tank rider company with Commissar. And let's go over and take a look at the Fallschirmjagers. So here for 1,750 points of Fallschirmjagers, we are going to be looking at a squad of Fallschirm Pioneers with the Pioneer truck, the 1IC, 2IC, and a Shrek base, 3 PaK-40s, a heavy machine gun squad. We have 2 infantry platoons, each with a HMG combat attachment. Coming down here, we have some Fallschirmjager heavy mortars with 2 observers, upgraded to the 12-centimeter bases. 2 LG-40s and 2 Tiger tanks, and the Tiger Ace is what, the 3 rate of fire, right? 3 rate of fire, and then the Pioneer truck will be bringing 3 of the barbed wire fences. We'll be coming back for deployment and the start of the game. So this is the deployment phase. We just put our guys on the table. This is the Fallschirmjager setup in the middle of the table for Surrounded. Down here, they decided to take this objective and surround it with PaKs, some regular Fallschirmjager infantry, and some LG-40s. Over in the middle objective, they surrounded that with the Pioneer squad and another Fallschirmjager infantry squad with the Shrek. Over at the top over there, there's the heavy mortar team that's going to be supported by the HMGs. And down here, the Tigers were placed in immediate ambush, I guess, to cover both flanks at that point. For the Soviets, we have the tank riders over here and a squad of T-34-85s with the 1IC on the flank. And on the other side of the table, back over here, you're looking at the ISU 152s. They're mostly going to make a push up the middle of the table. And on this side, we have the other squad of T-34-85s that are probably going to try to make a move across that ford or the bridge. We haven't decided yet. So we're going to start this up, and we'll get back to you guys at the end of turn 1. So we're at the bottom of turn 1 for the Soviets, and the first turn didn't go too bad. We pinned the PaK-40s and the rifle Fallschirmjager squad down here with the plane. Weren't able to get any kills though. Moved up with the SMG squad over here on the side, and the tanks on that end. Got a couple shots in on the Tigers down here, but weren't able to really penetrate. And we were able to pin the heavy mortars up there with some machine guns from the T-34-85s. On this side of the table, down here, the other squad of T-34-85s pretty much just bounced a bunch of shots off the Tigers and missed completely on the LG-40s over here down by the hut. And the ISU 152s, we kind of pushed up, but since the Fallschirmjagers over there across the bridge were dug in and gone to ground, we couldn't even fire a shot off because of our rate of fire 1. So we're going to give the Jaegers their chance here on the bottom of turn 1, and we'll get back to you. So we're here at the bottom of turn 1 with the Fallschirmjagers. They did pretty good. They got a couple shots off down here. They were able to pop one of the T-34-85s, and I had 2 6s to save at long distance from those Tigers, so this could have been a lot worse than it ended up being. Everybody over here, infantry-wise, kind of just stayed dug in and gone on the ground. Nobody did anything. Same thing with the PaK-40s down here. The Tiger tanks, they split their shots to that T-34-85 squad we just looked at, and over here, but the Tiger missed his shots on that side. The heavy mortars and 2 HMGs, they fired down here at the SMG tank rider squad, and they killed 1 base, and they were able to pin. And oh, you did pin him. You hit him with the mortar. Oh, that's right. Yep. No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, they didn't pin. Yep. So that's end of Fallschirmjager turn 1. We're going to go to the top of turn 2. So we're back for Soviets turn 2, and this actually went pretty well. We had the IL-2 come in, and with the rocket attack, we were able to take out one of the Tigers, and our T-34s on this flank were able to drop 8 shots into the other Tiger, and we were able to get them to double bail, and they failed their motivation, so they ended up becoming destroyed. We rolled up with the ISU 152s and dumped 9 machine gun shots into the Pioneers. We got them pinned, but they were able to make all their saves. On the other flank, the other squad of T-34-85s came up, and they pretty much just rolled over the mortars in close combat and started to push their way up that hill. And the Tank Rider squad is slowly making their way up the middle of the board. Hopefully we'll get them in close combat, or at least short range combat in the next couple turns. And that's pretty much all that happened here for turn 2. So here for the bottom of turn 2, the Fallschirmjagers pretty much stayed dug in their foxholes and just did a little bit of return fire. We had the LG-40s down here bail out one of the T-34s on the flank, and up over here, those tank riders took a pretty serious volley of fire from the PaK-40s and the heavy machine guns. They ended up killing 6 bases and pinning the unit. That's all the damage that was done right now. They had a Shrek move up onto the bridge and try to get a lucky shot on one of those 152s, but he ended up biffing it with, I think it was a roll of a 2. Yeah. So now we're going to turn up on going to turn 3 and see how things go for the Soviets. So we're here at the top of turn 3 for the Soviets. We had a pretty decent turn, nothing too crazy going on. We had the SMG Tank Rider squad go at the double and push up, try to use that force as some cover. The T-34-85 squad with the 1IC was able to roll those heavy machine guns on top of the hill, and they're going to start pushing their way down on the Pioneers next turn, most likely. ISU 52s just came up with nothing, fired a couple shots with that reroll for volley fire, didn't do any kind of damage. And down here, the T-34s, they stood still, and they were able to take out one of the LG-40s and the commander. So at the top of this next turn, we're going to see if these guys break off the table with that last man standing check. And that's pretty much all that happened here for the Soviets at turn 3. So we're here at the bottom of turn 3 for the Jaegers, and they had a pretty decent turn defending. They were able to pop another T-34 down here with one of the PaK-40s that turned around. The whole unit came and repositioned. Up on this side, the Pioneers decided to open up on the Tank Rider team that went at the double, and they took some pretty heavy casualties, but they were able to pass their motivation and stay in the fight. They were also able to bail out one of the 152s over there with that Shrek team on the bridge. Right now, it looks like the Soviets are starting to close in, but the Jaegers still got a pretty good bubble around each of these objectives. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out over the next 2 turns. We got to get mixed in close combat with some of those Pioneer squads. So we'll get back to you guys in the top of turn 4. So we're back here at the top of Soviet turn 4. Things went pretty decent. Shooting phase, we kind of just put a lot of pressure on that Pioneer squad, and they took 2 casualties from the 152s, and then a bunch of machine gun fire from the SMG teams, and the T-34-85s. Didn't really pull anybody out, but we were able to pin them. And then on the assault, we were able to do a couple wounds and push them back off the objective and get them out of their foxholes. So hopefully next turn we'll be able to capitalize on that. Down here, we tried to bring the plane in, hopefully try to get a bomb drop on these guys, but the plane failed to come in, and they had a couple 1s and 2s. Over here with these T-34-85s, they just keep staying on the ground, and they fired a couple cannon shots over into these Fallschirmjager rifle troops. We were able to kill 1 base, but that was pretty much it. So, besides that assault over there on the Pioneers, this is a pretty lackluster turn, but, maybe we can capitalize and get that objective next turn. So, rolling on the Fallschirmjager turn 4. So we're back here at the bottom of Fallschirmjager turn 4. Jaegers pretty much tried to just hold the line. I mean, the Pioneers weren't able to unpin, but they were able to dig in, so they're going to be able to at least sit on that objective and make me earn it next turn. Down here, the PaK-40s had 5 shots into the T-34-85s across the way, but they were only able to hit on 2 of those dice, and I had double 6s, so they just kind of bounced off the holes and didn't do any damage. Everybody else pretty much just stayed put, not much going on this turn. We're going to roll into the top of 5, and then hopefully the Russians can storm over that bridge and take that objective. So we're here at top of turn 5 for the Soviets. The T-34-85s with the 1AC were able to roll up and take out the remainder of those Pioneers with a little bit of support from the tank riders. The ISU 152s really didn't do much, fired a couple shots, didn't take anybody out. Same thing over here with the T-34-85s, just firing a couple shots over in the rifle squad on this side. Didn't take anybody out, didn't pin, didn't really do much. Over here, we had the plane come in, and they were able to range in on the PAC 40s, and were able to take out one base and pin down the unit. But after the assault, the Fallschirmjagers decided to fall back and fail their company morale check. So everybody's running off the table. The Soviets are going to take the area. Come back in a second, and we'll do a little recap and maybe talk about strategy and planning for the rest of the game. So we're back here, end of the game recap. Like we said, Soviets took the objective over in the middle of the table at top of turn 5. I think overall for the Soviets, game went pretty good. We were able to kind of get in there and move those T-34s up the flank and kind of roll those machine guns and mortars and get them out of the game early. Able to park those ISU 152s. I mean, they didn't do a lot of damage, but the threat of just having them there was enough, I think, to keep the Pioneers honest and make them stay dug in instead of maybe push a little further north over there and maybe assault those T-34s. Down over here, I mean, this unit of T-34-85, they didn't do much. I think they just kind of kept this side of the table honest, but I mean, for the most part, those LG-40s for the Fallschirmjagers, they won the battle here. I think popping 2 of those guys and bailing them out. I think they held up pretty well. Overall, I think for the Fallschirmjagers, I think it just went south for them once those Tigers got popped, because once they lost that long range firepower, it was kind of hard to take out the rest of those Soviet tanks going around the table with just the PAC 40s. They almost had to just sit back and wait till things got close range and they can use those Shreks and maybe like the Pioneer squad in close combat. But by the time that happened, I think there's just too much armor on the table for those guys to really answer. What do you think, Vin?
I think it was the Tigers. Definitely losing them early on in the match was probably the beginning and the end. And then once you had the plane over here, just holding them in that little corner, stopping them from doing anything, was just like perfect planning.
Yeah, keeping those guys pinned down and out of the fight. I think too, like coming up, we're still trying to build up this Fallschirmjäger army a little bit. Get a little more anti-air. Maybe invest in one of the German planes just to kind of throw them out there, have a little bit of fun with it. But overall, pretty good fight over on the Eastern Front. Probably do it again, mix it up a little bit. We got guess maybe some Strakovi coming out next, and we'll throw those guys on the table and see how this goes. So thanks for watching, and yeah, we'll catch you guys next game.